It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi guys, how are you doing? 14th of May, 3 minutes past 2 CET time. Piotr here, and this is the live market coverage. we are going to observe New York Open, all right? And that's the Global Liteforex YouTube channel here. Let's start with risk warning. Please bear in mind, guys, that trading effects on margin, trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors who can sustain a loss of some or all initial investment. So please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. All right. There is a little bit of bounce in terms of the risk on. A little bit of the bounce when we are talking about the risk on, and I love some comments like futures jumps as a Trump comments spark new hope for trade deal, or based on Bloomberg the buy the dip is back. Jeez, what a manipulation. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, and etc, etc. All right, the yen crosses trying to bounce, but on the dollar yen side, I'm sitting short here based on weekly open and based on possible swing high over here with all this sell-off yesterday. But of course there is a risk that more pumps from the Trump administration we are going to see during the US session. That's what we discussed this morning today. That someone's probably advised Mr. President that the dip was too deep, so it's time to pump a bit the stock. The dollar yen, we have to hold this weekly open to have a possibility to retest yesterday low, especially that it was the ideal test of the possible demand bounce. But still, as long as we are below weekly open, that's what I've already explained based on the pound yen this morning, right? If you haven't seen, I encourage you to visit the archive on this global Liteforex channel and to watch morning meeting, right? We'll see. From the pound perspective, a little bit of the movement. We were trying ahead of the UK job data based on yesterday negativity from the or Brexit related negativity. We are trying to take out yesterday low. I've been trying to trade something here. Yeah, I grabbed whole 6 pips, but anyway, returned, and right now we may try to trade over under here. That's from the bulls perspective. So if we are gonna to retest and hold yesterday low, we might see attempt to rally from here. On the other hand, on this hourly chart, taking into consideration that the latest rising candle is about here, right? So it was just retest, rejected. So as long as we are below, that's the still chance we are going to see lower low on the British pound. So yeah, both from the intraday perspective, both bulls and bears do have arguments in hand. So just watching for now. Very little activity on the euro dollar. Very narrow range after the rejection of the attempt to move higher yesterday, right? I think that we are going to see retest of yesterday low, 1220 or so, based on this possible 1-to-1, as you can see, ideally. Once we are gonna to give up 1220 from the bulls perspective, it might be the retest. We might see the retest of the 112 level, right? And if we are going to give up 112, just the reminder is the old consolidation over here. And if we are gonna to give up that one, right, then we might see a little bit lower levels towards 70-60 and even 40, 1170-60, 77, 1170, 1160, or even 1140. But it's yeah, very narrow range, so probably attempt of the second or third either upside break or downside break. That's something I'm gonna to look for a possibility to fade, right? From the higher time frame, again, the same what we discussed this morning, possibility of swing high creation. From the daily perspective, there is a channel going back inside the channel, and from the higher time frame perspective, that might be very negative, and over the course of the next few days or maybe weeks, we might see this type of the price action towards the bottom of that channel, right, towards the weekly demand, blue zone below. It's gonna be better visible here on daily. So that's as long as we are on a weekly basis, I'm talking about the closes, as we are below what's happened here 3 weeks ago, the high, and breakdown to and close, weekly close on the new 2019 low, right? Okay, so for now, as mentioned, watching this yesterday low, we'll see. I know that some of you may want to try to trade something similar to Head and Shoulders over here. I would be very careful with with this slow market. Especially that I'm watching Euro Pound here, and after the initial weakness, so we took out yesterday high, we took out Tokyo high, strong rejection over here, took out this demand, intraday demand. So right now we may try to play this over under, so as long as we are below, let's say 86.80, right? That was the supply over here, right? So retest, and we might see eventually lower levels. And the next possible demand, based on the daily chart, it's this latest weakness in between 86.45, 86.20, right? And from intraday perspective, it's mid of that range, around 86.35. Okay. That's how I see the things on the Euro Pound. Also, we were discussing Pound Yen, but here more time is needed, as we discussed it based on the daily chart. So taking into the consideration where we are right now from the daily perspective, right over here. So that's the late January, late December 2018, beginning of January 2019, this flash crash over here, right? Then we took out the supply, then we retest the previous supply, which used to work as a demand, then again, and we are here again, right? So what I would watch here, you see the either finishing the business, and looks like that's how it works since yesterday, so bounce here, right? But I wouldn't rule it out possible deeper stop hunting. All right, so we have the low from the 15th of February. We do have the low from the 22nd and 21st of January, this low. So we might see just the stop hunt. That's what bulls may hope for, okay? But bears, look at this last few days, right? So we took out previous support over here, right? Without the retest. So I'm wondering what might happen, what might bring retest of 43.75, because what I see here, and there is a nice speed up on euro dollar, and we are retesting this low, yesterday low. So let's watch for a while. We will get back on the 15-minute charts. It was retested. Let's check what is going on. News services for the rescue, if there is anything, because it's quite speed up, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to see turnaround. Oh no, that's something bigger. Pound as well, yen cross. It might be all about the yen here. Holy maloney. okay. But that's the old news. Italy Salvini says government ready to exceed 3% budget deficit limit to spur jobs, but that's the old one. It was the 30 minutes ago. Here is the pound related news. Jeez, on Reuters. Too many things going on at the same time. It looks like everyone is this move to the downside on the euro dollar. Everyone is trying to connect to this Salvini. Jeez. I would say it's more to this Bank of England Con Life speech. But some are trying to because again the Italian headline was half an hour ago. Of course there might be the delay reaction when we are talking about the algos. Whoa, so it's all about Italy. So let's get back to euro pound. What we were watching here. Yeah, we are reacting here nicely. Is it really Italian stuff? I don't know. Anyway, that also works fine with my dollar yen short. I have to be careful here. Be ready to react if the bounce happen here. But yeah, actually we took out, yeah, we hold this zone after the break. We hold this one, so I will try to make it safe. Okay. We will get back to the pound yen, no worries. It's quiet. We speed it up a bit. Yeah, push it lower here, please. So I will be able to, yes, hit that stops. So I'm gonna move my stop a little bit lower. Come on guys, push it lower. already have 2 to 1, taking into consideration the initial stop loss above the swing high. It was 8 and we are almost 16, so I'm going to monitor this closely. So I may want to secure 1 to 1 already. A little bit less. I want to have this stop a little bit higher. Okay. I think that's not gonna stay like this, so there is a chance we will see the lower levels, and if that was the consolidation, we may try to even expand the target below. Yo, let's try a little bit lower now. Well, it's almost safe. So I took the initial range, make the measure to the downside, we'll see. And actually it might be the retest of this rally back during the late New York, so that's, yeah, a little bit higher. Okay, and we should be on the safe side. So this time it's not, it looks like it's not US-China trade tension. This time looks like Italy scared market a bit, or spur safe haven buying. So let's get back to pound yen daily, all right? Because the bears, taking into consideration the latest move to the downside, so every time there was a rising candle, there was one day up, strong break, one day up, Friday gap down, break. And we are testing possible demand right now, but I wonder if we are gonna to get something similar what we had on Friday, if that's not gonna bring another attempt to break lower. Of course, Trump tweets during the Tokyo session slowing the sell-off a little bit. And we'll see. So in that case, as a bear, if I'm not a bear here, I mean, if I'm not sure here, I don't want to chase the price and buying at the demand zone, right? That's what general retail traders are doing. So in case of the, I don't know, two positive things, let's say some positive Brexit related news and some hope for a trade deal, I might even try to buy that one, right? Because it's clearly around the strong demand level. In case you are not short here, you missed the trade, you want to see clear breakdown here. Let's try to visualize this. I'm watching on second monitor the yen, dollar yen. Anyway, trying to visualize. You want to see the clear break to the downside, and then you want to see some kind of the retest. Of course, switching to intraday, you may want to try to trade from the intraday perspective around top of that demand range for now, or even higher towards the day open of the breakdown candle, right? That's something we are going to discuss during the webinars in June. And then you may try to enjoy the move lower, and probably in that case we are going to look for some liquidity, so look for stops, and the first target might be around 137.70 in that case. But as what you want to avoid by chasing the prices, because you may, for example, you may see something like this till the end of the day, then attempt to break lower tomorrow, and you may try to chase the price, right? So you are going to see the breakdown, price going lower, 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 hovering around this demand zone and ending the day like this, right? With some kind of the lower shadow. Right? Or even worse, might be some kind of the reversal sign over here. So lower shadow, attempt to break lower, but then the strong reversal, right? And that's something you want to avoid based on this daily chart. Of course, then you can try with attempt to break lower, you may want to try to look for some reaction to the downside on an intraday basis, right? But one more thing is, if that was the latest consolidation, right, taking into the consideration just opening and closing levels, so guys, I would be very careful, because making the measured move, boom, right? But if we are gonna to make it again, that's what we are looking for as a bears, and then retest, all right? Cool. Nice. So let's check it again. Let's have a look what we have in terms of the import prices. Pound is trying to recover. Okay, that's the US import prices. (0.2 versus 0.7 expectations month to month, pure 0.6, ex-petrol minus 0.6 versus 0.2 expectations pro minus per year. the data is helping. I mean, it's helping with this dollar yen short, right? I'm moving the stop even lower above the breakdown candle, right? So here I'm securing, right now I'm securing a little bit more than 121. And watching carefully, right? So I'm gonna to switch to 5 minutes, and in case of any kind of the attempt to reverse the course here, I may decide to run away. Pound was trying to recover a bit, but looks like they're trying to continue. I think for the bulls, from the bulls perspective, the best thing might be this megaphone creation over here. I'm looking to sell the pound on rallies towards the weekly open. Of course, the question is, I'm not sure if I'm gonna to see that such a kind of the rally, right? But yeah, we'll see. We had, because of the Chinese news yesterday, we had attempt to lower dollar levels, but the end of the New York session, yeah, brought the dollar rally, right? So we broke through 1220, so next is 12, as we discussed at the very beginning of our meeting. We'll see. So in that case, let's have a look what we have here. It's not the great one, but let's check that kind of the move. Yeah, 112, it's this demand over here, which the block over here, right? That's how it looks, at least for now. But again, right, that's intraday demand, but doesn't mean we have to buy in that point, especially that really I still don't know what was behind this sell-off. Trying to figure it out. All right, and yeah, we are approaching. So looks like here is a missed trade on the euro pound. Yeah, looks like. Okay, so another way I'm using, because it was like halfway of the I'm going to explain during the webinars, right? It was like 5 pips to the target, so I'm moving my stop again lower. If I miss target by 5 pips, I don't want to give up 2R, right? So I'm moving my stop right now towards 1.5. Right, it should be even lower right now, and this candle looks good, so I'm even lowering. Yeah, I'm securing almost 2R. We'll see. Just that's 5 pips to the target, and so I may give up 5 pips, and we'll see. So what I wanna see the break lower here again, and I might move my stop another few pips lower. I mean stop profit, because we are working towards this demand right now, right? So you know, I don't wanna see strong rally from here. That's why I'm securing the, because some guys are, oh yeah, that was my target, I'm gonna wait, whatever happened, I'm gonna move to +1, is a free trade. I'm sorry, but the bullshit is not a free trade. If you already have 2R and you are risking your 2R to get additional 5 pips, then it's a not free trade, you are losing 2R. Come on. All right, they're trying to hold this. So yeah, you shouldn't believe that something is free. There is no free lunch on the market, meaning there is no free trade. Hopefully that's clear. Wow, looks like time is flying. It's already we are approaching our first break today. Whoa. All right, 2 minutes left to this 5 minutes candle. Let's have a look how it looks on the 1 minute. What can we do here? Actually, nothing. It would be great to see the lower low over here. And then I would move my stop again lower, right? So go, guys. Push it lower. Actually, we don't want to see the move above 50. I can move to 51. Not a problem at all. Yeah, I would like to see, just to explain you, look, we are halfway, right now. I would like to see lower low, then I would use this upper candle, the upper shadow, as a stop level. So just trying to maximize the distance between the entry and stop profit. But anyway, it's time for a first break today. So the bar is open. Of course, non-alcoholic drinks only, coffee, tea, water. Anyway, charts staying with us, and I'm going to be back around the top of the hour. Enjoy your break.
If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Right, it's time to start the second part of our today's meeting. We are covering New York Open. The first part, I've been focusing on my dollar yen short. Stop profit has been hit. It was something around 2R. So for all of you been here from the very beginning, you know what we are talking about. There is a new lower low on the pound here. With attempt to reject. We'll see if there is a possibility that the bulls will try to step in over here and try to push back above yesterday low. I think that we might see a lower level still, basically trying to hit the third time this this line going lower over here. Let's have a look what we have on the higher time frame. There is a little bit of the demand, possible demand, based on the hourly and what we've already seen here, right? So that corresponds with this 29 another psychological level. So yeah, watching pound here. There are a few news. I already put them into the chat, so you are aware of what is going on in terms of Brexit related talks inside UK. Okay, the euro dollar, and there you go. That's 112. We are holding 112 based on this equal move. It's not a great stuff because of this upper candle over here, but anyway, measured move. There is a possibility that we are going to try to get back above yesterday low, that then we can try to create some kind of over under. We'll see. Yeah, this shadow, lower shadow over here looks good. We've seen something similar over here and over here. I like to call it game of the shadows. We will see. Still, we have to remember that what we are talking about is still possibility we are going to see some more stop hands, and then it might be something similar to what we are waiting on the pound. So a little bit of the bounce towards yesterday low, another attempt to sell off closer to the London fix, and then maybe bounce of this possible intraday demand, and it's gonna be all about yesterday low then, and then eventually weekly open, right? Still from a higher time frame perspective, medium term perspective, 1275.13 level as a key to the upside. We need to see the break and close above, otherwise bears are in comfortable situation while we are under. Of course, that's what we discuss as well. Of course, right now it's compared to after, if you remember our meeting yesterday or Friday, post FOMC high, post non-farm payrolls low as a range. That's what might be in play here, right? So cannot be ruled out here, but we'll see. Maybe with very tight stop there's gonna be opportunity to try to join either side. Another lower low on the pound over here, and that's the things are getting interesting. We'll see. Just selling pressure on this 15-minute charts, falling candles. Looks a little bit different on a smaller time frame. So there was an attempt to keep this alive, break through. So that's this possible intraday lower supply. We'll see if it's a trap or no. We've got like 23 minutes towards the US cash open. Very interesting what's going to happen. Of course, either later during this second part or during the third part of our today's afternoon meeting, we are gonna to have a look on the crypto side as well, no worries. Bulls trying to fight 8,000 without looking back. It's something we discussed during the morning meeting. All right, things are getting interesting on the pound here. Approaching significant level. That's the latest weakness over here. So let's have a look what we have over there. It's been tested already, so the low over here. So let's have a look here and eventually here. And then here, one of these levels should work. If bulls wants to step in, it's somewhere around 29 or towards 28.80. And supply should be, the first supply should be active around the yesterday low. Euro is bouncing as well. Dollar yen is trapped right now. What I mean by that, it's either over under to the upside, right? But we need to get back above 55, or we are breaking through this, so we will have to go below 47 or even 35 to have a possibility to retest yesterday low. And the good thing is that here there is a still space to try to hit the stops below the yesterday low and to try to retest psychological 109, 108.80. Retest of the yesterday low on the pound yen possible, meaning that euro pound is going back up. Yeah, trying to rally based on this negative pound sentiment right now. We will go through the indices right ahead of the US cash open. Just want to monitor, and euro dollar is testing yesterday low and a little bit of the rejection. That's what we discussed already. So we might see another attempt to go lower, and this the yellow demand over here. Yeah, that would be nice move towards 85. So what I'm gonna to look for with a little bit higher shadow, that would be possibility to try to trade it. We'll see. We already seen this fast move at the very beginning of the New York session before my holiday, right? If you remember. And today it happened again. From the intraday seller's perspective, good thing is that we get back below the weekly open. Okay, attempt to rally rejected at the very first 15 minutes of the new hour, but we are trying to hold early open. Pound, another breakdown, and on this 15-minute chart close lower, so retest of 29.23 and continuation to the downside. We are talking about the psychological 29 or something lower towards 28.80. Dollar yen trapped for now. Euro pound, if they are going to have this upper shadow over here like it is right now, what we were trying to hold on the move to the downside, we were trying to hold this one. Some stops. Canadian above post job report from Canada. Looks I want to go higher, especially with the oil lower, but oil, I'm waiting. There's a lot of going on. With Saudis, and here is a good article. So higher volatility on the oil possible. Yesterday rejection, we are trying to retest weekly open right now, right? That's yesterday candle, that's weekly open. We've seen bounce off demand last week, right after the sell-off. So, taking into consideration what happened yesterday, strong rejection. We have a supply over here, possible over under, so something above 60 to 50 might be interesting. Of course, we might see the manipulation on the oil side, but I think once we are going to get back and close below 6th of May low and then below this demand, right, the next target might be somewhere around 54, right? And the next one, oops, sorry, and the next one below 50, right? I know it's hard to imagine right now with oil above 60, but that's how it looks from that perspective, and that means higher volatility. Now, taking into consideration last week, if we can agree, taking this as a range, upside break might bring stop count towards 64.70, downside break may bring the break of the previous Monday low, will open the move below 60, but I would like to see a little bit higher levels here, and we might see, especially with the bounce on the indices, I do expect some bounce on the indices right around the open. So let's have a look what we have here on the Nasdaq. We already discussed it. That we are testing some kind of the demand right now, okay? Here on daily. So I'm not surprised we might see the bounce, right? We might see attempt to break this pre-market low just to fill the low over here, to retest the low from the 27th of March, all right? So more stops, few more stops. Then we may try to create, that's what we were discussing during the morning meeting. So just to mention, just to remind, if you want to have a full story, please open morning meeting. So what we might see here, similar attempt to create this type of the head and shoulder, right? And with this we discussed this latest weakness, and it's pretty nice target over there. Or the second bearish scenario is over under, so Riley higher, and then this demount, another attempt to go higher, and much lower. From the bulls perspective, they have to do whatever they can to avoid these head and shoulders. DJ, Dow Jones, it's very similar situation, right? We are trying to hold this demand. The difference is that Nasdaq made new high, right? But with I'm sorry, with Dow Jones, we just hit the supply. We were discussing some time ago. It was already here. We hit double top, Niagara Falls, right? So what we might see here, some bullish activity around current level to see a little bit of bigger bounce, but the lower shadows from last week, right over here, might be important today from the day close perspective, because if we are going to see the upper shadow and close below this lower shadows, immediately we might see sell-off tomorrow. But that's something we are going to discuss. Just a reminder, friendly reminder, we do have two meetings tomorrow. We are going to cover pre-London Open at 8 a.m. CET, and then again we are going to cover, like today, New York Open. So very similar to what we discussed with Nasdaq. So let's get back to Nasdaq. We have last 4 minutes of the pre-market. So we are going to prepare ourselves as usual. So that's the low and possible demand based on the daily, and that would be almost the size of this channel. Am I right? Yo, so there is a big chance we are going to hit yesterday low and 7,200. That's interesting. So we have some stops to the upside over here. This previous demand, right after the break yesterday, immediately worked out as supply. Okay, let's switch lower as we need 1 minute and we have to change the color over here. As we are going to watch, as a reminder, first 5-minute range to try to read the market during the first part of the US New York session, right? Trying to hold this line, pre-market line, and we are retesting the line right now, moving back. So attempt to go a little bit higher to revisit this yellow supply might be in play. We'll see. In the meantime, pound is fighting right above, bulls are fighting right above 29.10. So we need to see, it cannot be exact touch, right? We need to see some stop count and then lower shadow, we'll see. $20 seconds left for US Open, so that's what we are going to monitor at the very beginning. The gold got the problem, bulls got the problem around 1,300. There you go. The US cash market is officially open. That's the opening level. Okay, a little bit of high for now. That's the first minute, we'll see. For sure, the opening level is not gonna change. So I would like to see if someone is short already here, right, based on this retest of the bottom of the broken channel and stuff like this, right? I would like to see the stop count to the upside, and the full measure move, it's gonna to bring us towards 7,470, 80. And based on what we've seen on daily, that would be the first chance from the medium term perspective to try to fade the move to the upside. Looks like through the roof. So still algo are aware of what they seen 12 hours ago based on the Trump comment, China related. Third minute started. I think if we wanna, oh yeah, we should make a little bit bigger move within this first 5 minutes. But taking into consideration yesterday higher volatility, I think we might see some higher level, because what we need something like this type of the range of the first 5 minutes. So half of that been made already, and then right 7,405, and that would be the move. If we would double the first 5 minute range, that would bring us where we want, above 7,450. Then some kind of the pushing up, pushing down, pushing up, pushing down, and then eventually sell off into the close. Sounds easy, but it's not. $90 seconds. Of course, bulls, they don't want to see the upper shadow here with the negative body after the open. That would bring that low, that would bring that yesterday low, that what we discussed. But I would prefer, as a bear, I would prefer to see that to be taken out right into the close. I don't wanna see the test right now as a bear, because we might see the rally of that zone, right? Of course, bulls may step back here, and 7,260, 7,200, these two green lines, the zone, demand zone, might be in play. Looks like it might be neutral open, so the bulls are trying to fight to keep the price above cash open, at least for now. But it's not the greatest range. It's 18 points. Nothing extraordinary. So we have our range, we'll see. But you know, if you want to see the higher indices, it might be easier to push dollar yen higher or to push oil higher, for example, right? And then the rest is gonna be done by algo. All right, testing the first 5 minutes low, so some longs based on cash open being stopped out probably, meaning that we might see something bigger, but yeah, that's gonna be challenge to go that low. Yeah. All right, let's have a look what we have on the FX side. Euro dollar trying to hold this 112 for now, but again similar to the pound. I think yellow over here might be tested based on 1-to-1. Pound bulls are struggling here, trying to fight around 29.10, but we have 3 levels below, and if we want to take this megaphone into the consideration, we should see some lower levels and bulls should create the lower shadow. Just let me have a look on the smaller time frame. Yeah, not yet, at least not for me. And pound bulls trying to escape, going back above 55.57. So retest of the weekly open, and yeah, this swing high over here retest, we'll see. It also might be just really to close the gap, which hasn't been closed. There was an attempt to close the gap right after the open yesterday. Here is the key, in my opinion, to watch dollar Chinese yuan trying to consolidate what happened late New York and during the Tokyo session. Trump brought hope to the market, but Europe retest Tokyo high. So during the first part of our meeting, I've been providing to the end my short dollar yen, where the stop profit been hit on something around 2R or maybe a little bit more than 2R. Nothing extraordinary right now during the second part of our meeting, and we are approaching the second break and the last one today. After the break, we are going to summarize what we've seen here, plus we are going to have a look what is going on the crypto side, where bulls are trying to fight for 8,000 for the decisive break. Based on what we discussed earlier today during the morning meeting, based on this formation I've shown you, there's a still chance for 9,000, something between 9,000 and 10,000. There is a strong rally without the looking back, right? First, every bear was trying to short around 6,000. Massive move to the upside. Then after the break, everyone was looking to buy on the retest of 6,000. Didn't happen yet. So yeah. So charts going to stay with us, and I'm gonna be back after the break around the top of the hour. Enjoy the break.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
All right, welcome back after the break, third and the last part. And because there is some stop hand on the Nasdaq, let's give them some more chances to prove. Just want to show you something, why we are measuring the first 5 minutes, then the break to the downside, the move of the first 5 minute range. So just for you, one of the reasons we are doing this stuff, then you can create the blocks, and based on the size of the blocks you can watch the market. We are going to get back into that during one of our webinars, no worries about that. But before we will start to summarize the day, let's switch to the crypto side. There we go. That's the weekly Bitcoin chart over here. We are going to switch to daily. I'm going to show you why I think 9,000, 10,000 is still possible. But on weekly it looks even more interesting. At weekly it looks even more interesting. So let's place few levels. Right now we are approaching into the weekly possible supply over here, based on this rejection. But much more important from my perspective, from my some kind of the experience, if I may say, based on the FX, right? It's not gonna work exactly on the crypto side, still too small. But anyway, this whole move to the downside over here, right? Taking out this low, previous low. And all right, yeah, we took out the low, this low as well. Anyway, that might be the key from weekly perspective. So blue color, and all right, so bear in mind it's 9,300, 10,000, right? This possible supply. Okay, and looks like it wasn't tested. Taking lower and upper shadows, we closed the gap, but taking bodies into the consideration, we didn't. So that's based on the weekly, right? Plus on a daily, it's gonna be better visible. The whole move to the upside, the breakthrough 5,800, 6,000, right? Hold this move. The simplest way is to make the measure and move it higher. So based on this, it's the mid of that supply, and it's very likely, very possible. So that's why I'm talking about something above 9,000 towards 10,000 as a possible target for this move. Then we might see some kind of the pullback, But again, same story as with this wall of supply. If we decide to go higher, we might not retest 6,000. We might retest, I don't know, 7,000, 6,800, right? This rising trend line we get back above, right? Remember, don't forget, if you are new, then I have to tell you one thing. All the scenarios lines were well in advance here. We're providing what's going on. We have this measurement moves to the upside based on the ranges. Everything was here before few things has happened, right? So just, you know, we're trying all the best here. Hi Raisa, thank you very much. So that might be the case. Move towards 9,500, 9,300, 9,500, 10,000, and then eventually pull back towards this trend line, right? Looks like based on daily, weekly, we turned bullish here, and as long as the 6,000, 5,800, the previous, before this, the crash over here, the lows, as long as we hold above, bulls should be fine here, right? Now let's have a look what we have on the Ethereum side, which is rising above 200, and as well as Bitcoin. Maybe we have some lines over here, but let's switch to weekly. So we have the rise of the Ethereum here as well, all right? The only thing here I'm worried a bit is the place where we saw the weakness last time, all right? So that's one of the reasons when you are watching Bitcoin versus Ethereum chart, Ethereum is still weakening, all right? But if bulls are going to be able to close on a weekly chart, blue color, above 225, right? We are going to open the way towards 300, all right? And then $4,050, $500, of course, would be great to take out this swing low over here around 370. So plenty of these levels for Ethereum on the weekly chart. We just started already. Doesn't look bad. I would say on daily it looks really good. We'll see. The good thing is that we take out the latest weakness, right? Two important levels, and if we are gonna close above this blue weekly level, that's gonna be awesome, fantastic from the bull's perspective, of course. And we have to hold right now the breakout level, so we are talking about something like around 180. Okay, so let's get back to FX, because we have some pound weakness towards some stops we were discussing before. There you go. So the question is if we are going to see the stops only and the lower shadow, or we are going to see crash here on the pound, right? Possible supply not tested right now around the yesterday low, then towards the weekly open, which I preferred, but we are getting lower and lower. From the bullish perspective, something in between 29, 28, 80 mentioned earlier, based on this possible megaphone. So there's some kind of the jumper possible here, right? But we need to see the stops. We don't want an exact touch. It's working very rarely with exact touch, so be careful here. So intraday bulls down towards 29, 28, 80. Look for the price action around the London fix and post fix, and possible supply around the yesterday low, a little bit above, and then again towards the weekly open. Euro dollar, very similar scenario. We have this intraday yellow possible demand zone. Looks like we measured few different ways, but looks like there is a chance we are going to test this yellow bottom line over here. All right. So we are talking about the levels towards 1185 from the bearish perspective, right? So the rejection around the yesterday low. I think that we might see at some point attempt to take out this high to look for liquidity, and then rejection or even retest of the weekly open, this supply over here. Based on this 15-minute chart, right? But it's really nice because it's correlating with the weekly open, so that's quite positive here, right? And again, from the higher time frame perspective, from the medium term perspective, bulls need to take out and close above 1275.13 level. Otherwise, we might see slow move to the downside. Every day lower by 10-15 pips towards 11 and then again towards 110. Then dollar yen, still the swing high on hourly based on weekly open. If you are here from the very beginning of our today's meeting, I was short dollar yen, was able to grab something around or a little bit more than 2R based on the stop profit, so I've been lowering my stop. It was very close to reach the target. Anyway, that's positive. All right, now I think that bears are in comfortable situation right now. If we are talking about weekly open, so from that perspective, continuation to the downside is possible. But first thing first, bulls trying to work out with this over under, as you can see, right? If we are gonna to get back below, then we of course opening possibility to see the lower level, but I would be very careful with thinking of 105 or 100. Just easy. Remember about this possible demand we discussed based on the daily. Exactly, we bounced yesterday and we are trying to continue based on the Trump news or story related China, right? That, yeah, Mr. President thinks it's gonna be anyway successful. Yeah, like Mr. President figured out that the risk off went too deeper. So I wouldn't be surprised that we are gonna to see some stop count and rejection, right? I'm not sure if you are looking for a yen long, not sure, because of course at every moment we might see some kind of the Brexit related news, but I'm not sure if the pound yen it's not going to be better, right? But here we were discussing the daily chart, all right, and actually a few minutes ago we were still green for a day, but right now it looks like market is turning red right now. So just be careful. That's what we were trying to visualize earlier. You wanna see decisive break of this green demand zone, right? You wanna see decisive break of that zone, right? Something like then you wanna see the retest, and then and only then, based on intraday chart, you might try to short it. Because if you wanna chase the market here, right, you are going to sell into the demand, and it's not the weak demand based on the price action we've seen from the beginning of the year, right? So that's what the retail guys might do here. I'm not the seller here, right? So first, either I want to see the rally back somewhere higher, bounce of this possible demand, right, towards the broken previous support, maybe something towards either 33 or 33.70, right? And from intraday perspective, looking for rejections. So let's have a look what we have on the hourly. All right, again we discussed it earlier today. That's the weekly open. The gap has not been closed, okay? It might be that we are going to see some kind of the bounce. Why not? Some Brexit related news, for example, right? Some stop count, gap closing, and then eventually attempt to go short here, right? So that's how it looks from the pound yen perspective. Just my opinion, all right? On the other hand, if you somehow feel that the Brexit stuff is gonna be solved that's gonna be positive for the market, at some point, if you see some kind of the stop count with the lower shadow, the daily positive close, boom, you may try to trade off of this demand to the upside towards 143 and a little bit higher, right? Then we discussed euro pound from intraday perspective. Looks good from the daily after yesterday close above this weakness we've seen previously, some kind of the V formation, and we are trying to make the break to the upside from that consolidation. And that, if that's going to happen, right, if we are gonna to make just the simplest possible way, measure and move the stops, we are talking about the high from the mid-February. The stops over here might be under pressure, right? We might see the rally towards 88.40. So range, the positive thing here is that the latest weakness we took out, we are at the top of that range. Be careful here, right? But if we are going to see second daily close above this, that's positive. Some kind of the pullback. So watching from the intraday perspective, another pullback by tomorrow, for example, right? And attempt to join the party to the upside. On the other hand, from the bear's perspective, right, we took out some stops. We might look for more stops, for example, right? But if we are going to get back below 86.75 and then close below, another close below 86, that might be bearish towards the bottom of that range. For now, there is an attempt to break, holding well, taking into consideration latest weakness. It was the one upper shadow, another upper shadow, lower close, but then finally this week, beginning of this week, we trying to break higher. So mid of that range, weekly open. It's also visible here, the lowest demand over here, where you see the cursor as a possible demand, right? So Nasdaq is trying to rally. For sure, we took out pre-market stops. All right. So let's check one thing. Looks like everything is trying to tell us that if you are a bear, just wait, be patient. Okay, we'll try. So what is going on here? That's the first 5-minute range. We went lower with stops, but then we went higher with stops. So how many boxes towards supply? 3. A little bit more, so probably not today. Probably, just probably. And reminder, you have to have somewhere your trading platform. You have to watch dollar, Chinese yuan, right? We are right now inside no man's land, I would say. 685, 695 psychological levels, right? Moving back below 685, below last week high, right? Make ease tensions and move above 695. Could make Mr. President Trump very angry, so we can see some action towards calling Chinese guys FX manipulators, new tariffs, and more risk of probably. Okay. Okay. Looks like things are happening here on the pound. Slowly, there is a fight around the levels we discussed before. We'll see. But instead of something like this, I would prefer to see something like this. But it's a fixing time soon, so yeah, again, patient here. Need to see the similar action in euro dollar, so we need to see lower levels on euro dollar. I think. Oil, reminder about the higher levels. I'm gonna look to sell. Friendly reminder, we are going to meet twice tomorrow. First is gonna be pre-London live market coverage at 8 a.m. CET, and then at 2 p.m. CET we are going to cover live New York Open. So you are more than welcome to join us tomorrow, right? It's not a bad day. It was a good dollar yen. You also, if you are looking for my activity, you can check the Liteforex social trading platform. I previously provided the link. Have it handy here. So tomorrow. Nothing is extraordinary on the agenda towards the end of the day, but during the Tokyo session we do have Australian wage price index, we do have good Chinese data package, we do have industrial production, retail sales, unemployment rate. Okay, so watch out. Then at 8, German preliminary GDP tomorrow, 8 a.m. CET. Then 8:45 a.m. CET, French final CPI. And at 11, flash GDP EU quarter to quarter. In the meantime, German 30-year bond auction. And the afternoon, our meeting afternoon gonna be very interesting with Canadian CPI. All right. I'm very interested in what we are going to get after the strong Canadian job number, as well as US retail sales data, Empire State Manufacturing Index, capacity utilization, industrial production. So there is a chance for a busy afternoon. Today, that's it from me. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure to be with you here. Wish you great rest of the day, wherever you are. And again, see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.